to spontaneously go live just for, are we allowed to say shits and giggles in 2025? Well, that's the reason. Alright, I'll find a better mount for my phone soon. And I'll find better lighting as well. I do have a better light for this sort of thing. Seds gave me it. Obviously, this is only for people who are watching the recorded version because, there's the lights that Seds gave me. Only people watching the recorded version will see this because there's nobody here live at the moment because I've only just gone live unannounced. Oh, hello, 2 people in. Hello there. Let me get some light on the subject before I start reading your comments. Nice of you to pop in so spontaneously, as I have popped in so spontaneously. God, USB, it's never the right way around, is it? And then you turn it the other way around, it doesn't work. And then you turn it the other way around, then it does work. Great, so now I can have lighting on the subject without using my starter battery. Good. Reading glasses so I can see your comments close up. And straight away from Steve Harrison, hello Tim. Z, a former mastermind winner, hello Tim. Dean Austin, hello Tim. Let's dispense with the hellos and goodbyes. Get down to some brass tacks, some nitty gritty. I've got nothing to say here. So, hi Socks, we are watching from Scotland. Oh, hi the news, Stephen McVeigh here. Well, you would be in Scotland with a name like that. Me and my kids, with my kids and grandkids, we all love you. Well, I say it's not friendly for kids, but I do realise that, especially from the Patels, that families are watching this show. In fact, it was Devendra Patel, the family man, who used to work with me, and he used to laugh his head off bantering with me in the office. He said, mate, you just got to go on YouTube, just say something, and people will find it funny. And I had no idea I was funny until people tell me I am. Evening said Endorsed 3 contestant in yesterday's live stream. We got 16 people in here. One person likes it. Hang on, I'm in here and I haven't double clicked the screen. Can I like myself? No, I can't. I'm not allowed to like myself. There's something deeply psychologically traumatizing. We think your humor is very much like Scott humor. Who's Scott? Stephen McVeigh. Oh, the new body of Scotland. Oh, Scottish humour. Right, gotcha. Evening R, says Mystic Hair. Yeah, you were competing in yesterday's live stream too. In fact, you were the only one that actually understood what an opinion was. I couldn't. My God, it took like 10 bloody minutes to drag that out of you until Andy saved the day there. What is an opinion? An opinion is part of a mindset or a paradigm or a worldview or a set of ideas. It's one of those ideas that gives you a belief about what reality is composed of. My God, I'm getting flashbacks just trying to explain what an opinion is. But well done, Andy, for getting that right. I left my sister pregnant. We got someone from Arkansas in here. That's okay. What goes in the South stays in the South. 18 people in here so far. I'm sure it'll accumulate. Yeah, so I just had this random stoke just came across me. I just felt so eager to communicate to my viewers, I thought, do you know what? Adventures with Els, that's Richie in Coventry. Hello there. Yeah, I just felt so eager to communicate with my viewers for some reason. Maybe it's that I'm not actually a lone wolf hermit. I do have a social side to me, even though I've been at a subscriber's place for the past few days doing upgrades and repairs, and you'll have to wait till the videos come out to find out who that is. Oh wait, you know already, because a lot of you watched yesterday's live stream. Yeah, all is well. Richie in Coventry, all is well. Depends on which scale you're measuring, you know. I am emotionally, physically, spiritually, completely tippity top. But I'm sure if anyone else swapped lives with me, I don't think they could cope with this much freedom and destiny and responsibility and passion and enthusiasm. Hello from Iran. Oh, along with JKJKV, what, Amir. Hello from Iran. My God. I'm old enough to remember when the Shah of Iran was there and women were showing their hair, they were going to university, everything was cool. You were building Hillman Hunters, whatever you call them out there, and everything was great in Iran. What the hell is going on with these Mohammed clones pretending to be your leaders? What the hell? Yeah, Amir. My heart goes out to the Iranian people. That's a terrible, terrible thing. Especially, you've had random threats of American invasion from the US deep state as well. What the hell is going on with that? I think Trump has no interest in causing any wars, mercifully for you, because you were next. If Biden stayed in power, or who was next? Oh, Kamala Harris. Beautiful look. Yeah, so I'm going through my purple phase at the moment, much like Prince did shortly before his death from expressing too many controversial opinions. Live, die, repeat. You're built from different stuff, that's for sure. I'm the right stuff. Live, die, repeat. Yeah. Go hard or join the working class. 0 hours. Minimum wage. You can be dismissed by turning up at 7 o'clock in the morning and done nothing wrong. Oh yeah, I've had a little brush with the working class for the last 5 years since my business was destroyed by our wonderful health minister, Matt Hancock. He's like, you think Fauci was bad? Oh, imagine. Oh. Well, just imagine Fauci on acid and you've got Matt Hancock. Right, for Americans watching, I know 2% of my audience are Americans. What time's it over there? Early afternoon, probably. Yeah, I'm built different, that's right. But really, all it is just I am demonstrating what it is to be a man. The full potential of humanity once they embrace a passion, a purpose, an enthusiasm, and basically monetize their hobby. That's another way of labeling it, slightly more prosaically, but it doesn't feel like that. When you monetize your hobby, it feels like you're living your dream, really. You know, I get to have a holiday of a lifetime all the time, you know, just touring around England in a camper van, just adding more upgrades whenever I feel like it, and frankly, can afford it. Yeah, so that's how I'm built different. Thank you for noticing. You're our hero, Tim. Mystic Hair. It's been an honor, sir. Amir. Yeah, we want Iran to be restored to its former glory, because Persia used to be this epic modern country before even the Romans. It was incredible. And the amount of IQ and education and intelligence you got there, and especially your women, and your Aryans, so you could mingle freely amongst us and we wouldn't know, because you're as clever and as beautiful and as brilliant as us. So, yeah, we hope you get to achieve the potential that I'm not saying that Britain is doing now, but that we did until the virus hoax of 2020. There you go. There's my monetization gone. Watkins, hello Tim. I saw Dr. Hillary on the train. Oh, you have to follow the rule of 666. 6 people in a room, 6 feet apart. What's the other 6? Oh, your knob has to be 6 inches long, I think. Clarity. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've got to know what's going on. And that goes down to my previous rant about opinions. Endor said 3. Yeah, is if you have a set of opinions that don't just match a paradigm or a worldview or a mindset, but actually map directly to reality, then you have pure clarity. So obviously we only see the world through our senses, and we don't know whether we're just brains in fish jars in a matrix, or whether we're actually these funny little pentadactyl flesh pods wandering around on the surface of a planet around a yellow dwarf star that's been miraculously stable for 5 billion years. It depends. Yeah, but it is important that your opinions match a worldview, and then you have clarity. Bingo. Not just scientifically, but in your personal life as well, that you're not fobbing yourself off, because humans have got to this incredible peak. You think of the Renaissance was 500 years ago, and in the past 500 years, we've just about figured out anything if you care to research it, and clarity brings you much closer to a set of opinions that actually are reality. And that mindset is called objectivism. It's different to religion. Objectivist, and I'd call myself an objectivist because I would hate to have an opinion that was different to the objective reality of the real world. Thank you, Endor said. Good evening. Oh, another flashy handle here. HW-OP7PQ and Job Webster in Ynys the Isle of Sea Salt. Ynys means in Welsh. There's loads of salt under the Irish Sea. And the trail runs cold. I'm now just left with my own thoughts, alone. But fortunately, I'm an introvert, so I can do that all day, every day, never get bored. In fact, if I do get bored with just pure introvert self-reflection, I can just edit a video and show you all what I've been up to recently. Endor said, and brings me peace. Yes, clarity brings you peace. Exactly. Even if you're being given bad news, if you know that bad news is accurate, you want to know what it is. You don't want to fob yourself off with some fairy story. You want to know what's going on and why, who's behind it, how you can get through this. That's clarity. Well done. Well done, Endor said 3. Boo says Black Van and Robin. Sorry I missed you in Barmouth, but at least you popped up at random in Leicester when the mansion broke down just over a year ago. Oh, that was a sorry episode. Not just you, Tim. I'm here too, says Spice Boy 100. Yeah, yeah. I wonder. I ought to do I do several questionnaires on my channel, don't I? Several polls about what people think, what people know, what people do, and perhaps I need to ask people about their idea of what opinions are for. Yeah, fobbing yourself off. Listening to the television so you can fob yourself off with a set of false beliefs about what reality truly is. Dave Carling 1, hi, we've got 38 in here, 11 likes. So what you're truly watching is just a bloke by himself in a camper van in a not particularly great place. I don't know if you can see there's just some ant security lights shining directly on a digger so it doesn't get stolen at night, and a pile of scaffold and fencing. Yeah, this is the glamour of van life. Sometimes, the places you park up are not necessarily, especially if you travel around a bit and you don't know places, you just look around, you sniff around, and you see a park up and you think, yeah, that'll do, because when you're asleep, your eyes are closed and you're snoring away and you're dreaming away. What does it matter where you are as long as you're not hassled? Tough Sailor 31, have you seen the film They Live? Of course I've seen the film They Live. That is, Roddy Dowell, that is something. A man waking up, you remind me of him. Well, I woke up a long time ago, 36, spiritually woke up, but it took me till I was about 51 to finally believe that the institutions of the United Kingdom were not exactly working for us, because I had a great life until then. I basically did whatever I wanted to do and nobody stopped me. I spent 6 months in the summer doing IT consultancy, and then 6 months over the winter I'd just travel the world. And I'd come back to my flash motor that I'd insured a friend to drive, and the flash motor was either crashed and I'd buy a new one, or it was intact and I'd carry on with that flash motor. And that was my life until the life that you've recently witnessed, which is me on YouTube in a camper van, just scrimping on YouTube advertising money. Mystic Hair says, I've never felt more enlightened, Tim. Wonderful. Wonderful for you, Andy. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing when you can tune in to that pure awareness, and you notice it when it's occurring in others, don't you? You can tell who's living behind a story that they're repeating to themselves about who they are, and someone who's authentically being themselves, because when you don't really give a shit what anyone else thinks about you, that is a major clue that you might be over the fence into the free mind of enlightenment. Well, I wouldn't say mind. You've actually escaped the mind and you're into the pure awareness of the soul, and the mind is merely a tool that you command, rather than being tied to the front of that train and going choo choo, and your mind is just torturing you as it leaves you from crisis to crisis. Yeah, once you take control of the mind and you just rest in the bliss of pure awareness, then the mind is a tool. Yeah, that's what it feels like, folks. Those of you who haven't discovered that yet, that's what it feels like. Watkins +2. Tim, I got 10 points for sitting next to my broken down vehicle waiting for the RAC for 3 hours, and you were pissed that the car was inoperable. Yeah, I think if you're in control of a vehicle and you're over the limit, I think you're lucky you didn't lose your license or get a ban altogether, Watkins. So just enjoy the high insurance and leave it at that. And lesson learned. Lesson learned. I hope that the days when you drink and days when you drive are different days. Okay. Good luck, Watkins. Middle of nowhere. Yeah. Great. You cause your own problem. Well done, but at least you got an anecdote. Stephen McVeigh in Scotland. Please make sure you get a carbon monoxide alarm. Well, that's because you haven't been watching my channel. I mentioned the carbon monoxide alarm in 2 separate videos. So, yeah, if you're not watching, enjoy not knowing what's going on, as well as not being entertained by my slightly off-kilter brand of humor. Plans for Christmas. I'm going to go to Mass and worship the Lord. Plans for Christmas. I do have a plan for Christmas, but you're going to have to stay tuned and watch this space. Watch this channel. Same bad time, same bad channel. Respect to you living the dream. Yeah, it is a kind of dream, but it would appear like a nightmare to other people because everyone has their own dream that they need to live. I was listening to Jimmy Carr on a podcast today over breakfast, and he was saying that what you think about when you're in the shower or having a piss or taking a dump, that's what you need to do. If it's legal and ethical and moral and safe and all those caveats. Yeah, so whatever it is you think of in the shower that you need to do, except for masturbation, obviously, then make that your life work. And I was thrown into this van life malarkey, but what I wanted to do was document it because I'd already overcome God, I'm going into Sanskrit now because English is so clunky describing these concepts. The samsara halahala, the continuous hell of the unenlightened world where you're just living a story and you're believing other people's stories and you're believing the television news and you're just living in constant fear and you know things happen that seem to be unconnected events. No. I escaped that when I was about 36. So yeah. And once you then think, well, hang on, what are the things that I would really enjoy doing? And when I was 36, I thought, you know what? I'd really love to be a top-end computer programmer, an IT consultant, going around different businesses, fixing their websites, because that was something I enjoyed doing in my spare time anyway, was building websites. And another thing I enjoyed doing in my spare time was traveling the world and learning languages, meeting people and all that. So, and I enjoyed Flash Motors. So the whole thing became congruent, and I lived that passion from about, say 32 to 52. Then Matt Hancock had a little plan for small businesses, and I kind of was forced into van life initially as a temporary solution to avoid homelessness, but instead it's turned into this wonderful phenomenon that you've witnessed. If you like me, if you hate me, then you can just slag me off and then get banned from commenting. Can you imagine what these comments would be like if all the tards were still... I mean, I'd get more views. I get 250 more views per episode, which would put me up from 200 a week to 200 a month to 250 a month. But no, but it would pollute the comments for the lovely people, It'd just be all nastiness, vitriol, negativity, jealousy. Who wants that? Yeah. Respect Tim, you live in the dream. We've read that. I've actually not scrolled on to the bottom. Right, going to catch up on your comments there. What do you mean by the spirit waking up? How did it happen? HW100 Dan. It so happened that my brother was sort of trying new things and getting into new things, a bit like my mate Simon of the Blake family, sort of fad diets and fad beliefs and But worse than that is he was starting to go along to spiritual gurus, to satsangs. And I thought, well, I better go along with him. Obviously I pretend to be interested in that crap, but I went along to this satsang, and I realized, this isn't a cult. This is actually an ancient tradition from Neolithic India, where a room is full of people with problems in their lives, and they just talk honestly about their problem to a guru, obviously someone they don't know, but someone who will think very deeply about their problem and suggest something they can do about it, a bit of advice. And I just went along to this, and I was listening to other people's questions and answers, and then this particular guru called Satyananda, Satyananda, if anyone wants to go along to one of his sessions. I think he's in Great Malvern Way. But yeah, listen, and he was talking about the present moment and our continuous awareness and presence and being in the present moment. And I'd never had that thought process before. And then I realized it was more than just a thought process. It was an actual description of being, of actually being a conscious soul with the ability to decide, act, and respond in the present moment. And everything that ever happens in the present moment, the past is fixed, the future is really determined by what you do in this present moment. Otherwise, just the same things continue, and you bump from pillar to post of other people's. Yeah, so that's how I got into it. Was I was woken up by a satsang guru while trying to make sure my brother wasn't getting into a cult. Good question indeed. The coffee has indeed me smelled and red pill consumed. Yes, and it's getting more obvious every day. I mean, my God, if COVID didn't wake you up. Then I've got a bridge I'd like to sell you. Tony Lynch, keep it lit, respect from the public of Era. Yeah. HW100 Dan. I absolutely feel like I'm waking up. Well, stick with it. Stick with it. And the best way that you can crack that egg of your own awakening is just to be with your own thoughts in silence. I don't know how you're going to do it, like turn up early to work and park your car and just sit in your car for 20 minutes and be alone with your thoughts. And then eventually the thoughts will stop. It's like a dripping tap that gradually you manage to turn off, and it stops annoying you. And then you just, whenever nothing's happening, you just blissfully dwell in this void of pure awareness, without identity, without memory, without regrets and plans, and everything about you is gone except awareness, and you can just stay like that. You might have to set your alarm, because you never know how long you're going to dwell in the void. But that's the way to do it. HW100 Dan. Have a bit of me time, 20 minutes a day, and it might get up to an hour a day, but that's pretty hardcore. Once you get up to that level, you're probably doing yoga as well. What do you think of David Icke? David Icke, wow. Well, yeah, certainly listen to him, right? We, whether you like it or not, or believe it or not, we're in a free speech world. Anyone can say anything. Anyone can hear anything. Anyone can listen to anything, believe in anything, dispute it, believe it, whatever. Listen to the whole point about free speech is to listen to opinions you don't believe in. Otherwise, free speech means nothing. So if you've been told that David Icke thinks that the royal family are a bunch of reptiles, that's the BBC cover sheet for him. So you think, oh, right, I'm not going to go investigate any further because I've been fobbed off with a cover sheet. Yeah, open that cover up and start looking at his channel. He's back on YouTube now. Get into it. That's what I think about David Icke. Listen to him. Doesn't matter if you believe him or not, but you have to listen to him. Otherwise, the mind is a great servant, but a poor master. Bingo, Black Man and Robin. You got it. That's exactly what it is. As if the mind is in control, then all you notice is dramas and gossip and problems and vices, addictions. The world seems absolutely nuts. Yeah. But it's not the people in the world necessarily. It's just that people who you would conventionally call evil have grabbed hold of the reins of power and have done for centuries and got us to this point now where you either have to wake up and fight this or resign yourself and all of the next generations for could be 1,000 years to an AI slave control grid. And yeah, that is nuts. I mean, you wouldn't do that to anybody. I mean, most of the people I imagine in these comments here, the 56 people in these comments, would think, do you know what? I don't need to control anyone else. I don't need anyone else particularly telling me what to do unless they're paying me. Yeah. Dave Ormerod's been awake since 2020. Yeah, like I say, the COVID. Yeah, well done, Dave. Yeah, it was the COVID scam. Woke a lot of people up. And it also kept a lot of people asleep because they would think, hang on, the scale of it. There's no way they could control all the newspapers, all the television, all the hospitals, all the radios, all the poster generation. But yeah, it was them announcing that they're taking over. David Icke, if you're interested, said, the door shut behind us and clicked, and now we're in the room with these psychos in charge. They've revealed themselves. Good evening, says Shane Gallagher. Chris Lewis, hi Tim, hope you're well. I am well, sir. I am well, and I know you're going through some bereavement at the moment, and my heart goes out to you, Chris. And yeah, you process that, and we'll meet up next year sometime. And obviously, I have a vested interest in that because you've got a part that can help my van work properly. And whoa, there are other issues that you might know how to fix as well. I've yet to get to the video, so no doubt before Christmas I'll have published all the videos where I really sort of go through the problems that this particular Champagne Galaxy is having, Chris. But you don't think about that until after Christmas. You get through your life at the moment. And love to Michelle and your lovely daughter that I met the other day. Hope they're all doing well. Kim Wilde's Fluffer. Don't know what that means, barn door. Maybe you don't either. Watkins +2. I'd rather have got a ban rather than 10 points. 10 points don't come off for 5 years. Yeah, well, you're drunk in control of a vehicle, you nutter. I mean, who else wants to share the roads with you, Watkins +2? Right, any plans for another Scotland trip, says RMC. Yeah, I might. My next big, obviously I just had a last big adventure, which was the whole of the south of England. That was pretty intense. During the tail end of the summer and moving into autumn, that was very intense. The work ethic there was ridiculous for £200 a month. Yeah, I'd like to go to Scotland again, especially because only one subscriber, which was Tam Spoon, visited me last time I was there. But I think more people are watching my channel now, so Yeah, I think I will. If I get invites from more than one people, I'll put the word out when I'm thinking about it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Certainly not going to do it in the summer because it's, no offence, full of bloody English. Probably go off season. About this time next, well, maybe 10 months time perhaps. I don't know. Can't make a promise yet, Armsy. Everything Evan, formerly known as Evan in the Autistic Way, whom I tried to visit in Lincoln about 3 years ago. Barndoor-C2I says shocks with scandals. What a ridiculous soundbite that is. Great Marvel, how long have you been spending thinking about that, Barndoor? If you ever write in again, tell me, how long has that little soundbite been bouncing around in your head and you thought, oh, that's so clever, I'm going to write down shocks with scandals on his next live stream. Go on. Yeah, answer that one. How long have you been dying to write that, Barndoor? Right, Great Malvern, been there, been to a few New Age events there about 20 years or so ago. Yeah, well, it was 20 years or so ago that I met Satchinanda there in Colville. I don't know what he's doing now, whether he's gone back to Uruguay or whether he's still hanging around Britain, trying to help people wake up. I don't know. We'll see. Everything Evan, I'm dangerous with my own thoughts. Well, that's because you're in the autistic way, Evan. What you need to do is realize that the mind is only a tool. And if you're banging yourself over the head with your own adjustable wrench, then that's not the correct way to use it. Is you keep it in the toolbox and you don't even touch your spanners until you need them for a certain millimeter across flats of nut, and then they come out, you deal with it, and then the spanner goes back in the box. That's what the mind is for. It's a tool that you pick up and use and apply to certain things, then put it back in the box and leave it alone. Sometimes I think, says Esmeralda O'Reilly, sometimes I think the madness in the world right now is just a drastic and deliberate quest to change humanity and wake everyone up. I don't think the globalists running the show intend to wake everyone up. I think they underestimated what human potential fully is. And the biggest mistake they did was to make COVID a dry run. Okay, they killed 40 million people worldwide. Africa does that every year just with its crap culture, Who cares if this time it was some white people? Yeah. But the main target is the West, because we're normally the awakened, educated ones that will stop this madness in the world wherever it is. Typically, we're the superpowers, basically. And I don't mean it in a skin color time. I just mean it as people who evolved from ancestors who had to plan and cope with winters. Now, the whole point about winters is, firstly, you have to eat fish because you can't rely on vitamin D coming in through your skin, so you tend to be paler, and you have to work twice as hard in the summer and do a lot more repairs and planning and farming and hunting and freezing. Get your ice. Even a lot of these Stone Age mounds they've discovered were actually walk-in freezers, where in the winter they would make sure all the ice was covered and insulated underground so they could have a whole summer of walk-in freezer. So yeah, that's something that in warm countries you don't have to do, because the ecosystem continues almost same every day, except maybe you've got a rainy season, a very a slightly hotter rainy season, and then yeah, an averagely warm dry season. All right, let's crack through these comments now. Very interesting live, Tim, says HW100 Dan. Yeah, I think bouncing off your comments kind of sent this off into a more serious and yeah, thoughtful direction than I normally do. It's inside my head that scares me. Yeah, that's because you're in your mind, Tony Lynch. You have awareness. You're not your mind. You're not your memories. You're not your thoughts. You're not your identity. You're not your plans. All of that is something that you're aware of. So your awareness is separate from the mind. It's a strange concept at first until you manage to jump into pure awareness, and then the mind is a tool. It's a bit like your car. You can wander around most of your time outside your car. I do. I'm not in my camper van for a lot of my channel. I just park it up somewhere and walk around and explore different towns. And then when I need to move from one place to another, or sleep in it, that's when I get into my camper van. And the mind is like that. The mind is just another tool that has a purpose. The problem is that the human mind is actually a supercomputer. So it's very, very compelling and entertaining to dwell inside the mind rather than being a pure awareness that accesses the mind. Mystic Care had his message retracted. Evan in the autistic way said world currency reset isn't far away. We don't know. We don't know about that. They've been trying to pull all kinds of things. We don't know. It's nice to panic and worry about stuff like that, but you just don't know, do you? Ian Baker, yeah, he's been my wingman, or he would say my leader, for a couple of road trips now. Good to see you again, Ian. And Dorset 3, Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire. Yeah, it's been always burning since the world's been turning, indeed. Universal basic income, thoughts, Tim? Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of that. It would certainly improve my life. But then I'm busy, I'm busy. Even though I haven't got much money, I'm busy. I'm traveling around the country, meeting people, talking to people, and being by myself. Sometimes with my thoughts, and sometimes just dwelling in the void of pure awareness without a single thought. Yeah. Oh, I dropped the phone. That's the third time now. That's because I haven't got a stand and I'm holding it up. And fingers get tired. The penny has dropped for Neil. Oh, Neil Oliver. Oh, what a guy. What a guy. Yeah, what a guy. I mean, I followed him since he was doing the coast, where he explored the British coast. Oh, and billions of years of tectonic plates and all that. But, yeah, he's definitely become quite a leader of this great awakening. A remarkable, remarkable man. I saw him on the Alex Jones show, and he invited Alex Jones and his missus to come and stay with him in Scotland. He hasn't done that yet, so I do hope we get a live stream of Alex Jones in Neil Oliver's house, or maybe going on road trips around Scotland and looking at history and the brutality of the British Empire when it took over, and all these things that would be of interest to both of them. Watkins +2 had a message retracted. I don't even look into those these days because normally something completely retarded. Richard Jenkins says, good evening. Yeah, whatever. Why don't you just go to sleep, Grandpa? Oh, a neg. Oh, something I can do with negs. I can put in timeout and you get the maximum. Yeah, there you go. The Tards are in the house. You just noticed the last one. That's gone. Evening, Tim from Skipton says, OWD Drifters. Yeah, I'd always, whenever I see a seagull, I know you capture it from your next handle. In fact, the seagull you got there was from what's that village outside Port Merion called? But I was there and saw a seagull on a parked car and took a picture of it. Yeah, and the Tard tried to say something else, but won't be able to for another 86,000 seconds. OWG Drifters, 10 points, Tim. What is 10 points? No, it was Watkins plus 2 got 10 points for being drunk in control of a vehicle. Silly Billy. I mean, camper vans are different things because, you know, you obviously have, if you're parked up and having a drink with a bed in the back, then there is no intention of driving. OWG Drifters is having a little giggle at that. And I got to the end of the comments. 47 people here in the live. Any Americans here? Howdy from across the pond. I'm still here though, says Watkins plus 2. You're still here? Yeah. Wasn't talking behind your back. I knew you were here. Yeah. We were just talking about 10 points with OWD Drifters. Andrew Taylor. Hey, Tim. How's the old boy Richard Hewitt doing these days? Loved your meetups with that lovely guy. He's a lovely man. And I dare say, a friend. Yes, yeah, I always enjoy my meetups with Richard Hewitt. But because he's a boomer, all you got to do is press record and he yaps on for 10 minutes and that's the episode done. Really easy filming boomers. Graham Marshall -ES7. You still up north, Tim? No. What do you mean still up north? You haven't been watching any of my recent episodes. What do you mean still? Right. Richard Jenkins. So if you had a drink in the back, could you if I was drinking in the, we can't see it there because it's dark, in the back of my camper van, I would just ignore the filth. They'd knock on my window, they'd see nothing in the front here, and they could just, the filth can just filth off, you know. But I don't think you understand, Richard Jenkins, that being drunk in charge of a motor vehicle is a criminal offence, and you're very lucky to have got away with just 10 points and not a charge, only because the vehicle wasn't actually driving at the time. Yeah, but camper vans are different. If you're in the back and you're having a sip, it's a different thing, isn't it? Because you can park them up and there's a whole house in the back there. It's like, it's no different legally to being in a house and having the car, parked out the front. You know, the filth can't just bang on your front door of your house and say, "You've been drinking, sir. Oh, I notice you've got your car keys in the house and there's a car parked outside, you know, that you could drive away at any moment, sir." You know, that's obviously madness, but you got 10 points, you deserved it. No one wants to be on the road with people like you, so just enjoy your high insurance. Holy hell, I don't know why you're still arguing about that madness. Right, HW100 Dan just sent you some chips with curry sauce. No, I haven't received a PayPal. No, you haven't. You haven't. No. HW100 Dan, you have not sent me 100. Oh, I'll take it all back if I get a PayPal announcement, but no, nothing's come in. Do you think you'll ever travel abroad in the galaxy? Yes, to the Republic of Ireland, which is in the EU. How's your invasion working out for you, Ireland? God, you fought so hard in 1916 to be a separate country from Britain. Oh well. Andrew Taylor sent me £3. Smoke weed, it's great stuff. That's silly, Evan. If you're self-medicating, no. That's silly advice. Not that I don't, but it's silly advice. Live, die, repeat. Don't fancy a few months in Spain? Well, I know a bit of Spanish, and I could always brush up on it for a go there, but thing is, I wouldn't hang out in the expat communities, I'd travel around Spain and meet and mingle with the Spanish people. That's what I would do if I went to Spain, or any country, actually. I don't know how many of you have seen my other playlists, other than my van life playlist, where I have, gone on. I think most recently was before the Matt Hancock was the Southeast Asia motorcycle tours, and I learned a bit of Thai, a bit of Khmer, a bit of Vietnamese out there, so I could pretty much travel around Southeast Asia. And good evening. Oh, here's someone out there in Thailand, Brian Case, whom, if you remember, I met at Stonehenge a couple of years ago, and he made a very profound statement that what the globalists plan for us is worse than anything the Nazis would have done had they taken over. Yeah, so he's in Thailand at the moment. Good for you. Good for you. Falangwam Sop. How is the life? You're witnessing it. Do I seem like some miserable, bitter bastard, or am I somebody really having a laugh, enjoying my time in the campfire? In fact, I have a lamp here. I can show you the back of the van. There it is. There's the mattress. There's the mirror windows. There's the duvet. That's it. Yeah, life is good because I'm living my dream, and I wouldn't recommend necessarily doing this, anyone else doing this, but whatever it is that you think's a good idea, crack on, have a go. Tim, you will love Ireland, but forget Dublin. Yeah, I used to work in Dublin. I used to be a international city booze cruise coach trip tour guide back in the day, and Dublin was one of the places I used to send. I used to be the tour manager on, and I'd always make sure I'd have a proper session in the Jameson Distillery, the Guinness Brewery, and have a proper session Temple Bar. But that was like 25 years ago, and yeah, I've gone right off the drink now, Esmeralda. But yeah, certainly I'd look forward to going around Ireland. Obviously avoiding the more diverse places. I think Shannon and Cork have gone, aren't they? Or correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're the new London and Birmingham, where they're no point in going. Oh, hello. Do I have an apology for? Yeah, there it is. That's the cheesy chips and curry money. Just come in, so apologies to. I'm going to go back and find it now. HW100 Dan. Yeah. Thank you for the cheese and chips and curry money. PayPal took its sweet time considering that one. Nice one. Tim, you will love Ireland. Yeah, I've done that one. Rivnut. Thanks, buddy. All good here. Yeah. Sabari my Falangbar. Socks for Prime Minister. Oh, don't get me started, man. Can you just imagine a list of my policies? It would make Tommy Robinson and Rupert Lowe look like loony lefties. Yeah, so I don't think I have to go into that. The one Toby one. Everything Evan. Every country will be the same soon anyway, so what will be the point of travelling? You really are poor Evan. Poor Evan. I know you've got autism, but my God, that's... No, it won't. Have you ever been anywhere else? Right, you've got countries where they don't wash their hands after a poo. You've got countries where they believe it's holy to dump in the fields and the children end up blind. You've got countries where they consider women to be 9 years old or above. You've got countries where they still do slavery of other races. Somalia and Libya, for example. No one's doing anything about them. No, Evan, everyone is different. And you can't go to these places thinking they're just like us. No, they're not. You see these stories all the time. If you watch Paul Joseph Watson, you know, this liberal couple from Sacramento thought, oh, yeah, let's go to a cycling trip on Turkmenistan and we'll see if we can find some vegan yogurts and granola. And yeah, what happened was, bunch of beardy weirdy ragheads saw them on one side of the road, drove back on the other side, run them over. Yeah, that's the story. Yeah, so you can't think other people are like us and that the rest of the world will be the same. The problem is, if you import the third world, you become the third world. And I think the Overton window, which is the set of beliefs that you can talk about in polite society, has moved over to what used to be called the right, but it's really no longer right versus left. That's a post-World War II paradigm. It's now patriots versus traitors, or populists versus communists. Those are where the real lines are now. So sorry, Evan, in the autistic way, I disagree with your worldview entirely. Don't forget, you've got countries full of centuries after centuries, even millennia, of cousin humping that leads to average IQs of 70. I mean, my God, these people are so far gone. But no, they will never be like us. They will never set up a tool shop in a garden shed and start solving the problems of the world. No, all they can think about is coming here and stalking children on the walk home from school. It's all they can think about, these people. They're gone, they're gone, they're inbred. Evan, goodness sake. I thought this was obvious to most people. Right, let's catch up on the comments. That was a bit of a rant. Rivnut Brian Case. I can't take the winters anymore. Given the option, I'm out of there. Oh, I had 22 years solid, mate, from about 28 to 50. I had all my winters somewhere else. Like, if I wanted cold, I'd go to the Alps or Japan and go snowboarding. If I wanted warm, I'd go to the tropics and really enjoy some, nice winter sun. Yeah, and before that, it was just, on a lower scale, mainly, say, Balearics, Canaries, other European nations, that sort of thing. Hitchhiking, if I really didn't have a budget. HW100 Dan said, sorry, didn't press the button on PayPal. In that case, I withdraw my apology. I was right to say that you never gave me a cheesy chips and curry budget at the time when you bragged you did. But I do appreciate the cheesy chips and curry budget now. What is your manifesto, Tim? Oh, I'd make sure that anyone caught at the side of the road drunk in charge of a motor vehicle would be flogged in public at the stocks. Yeah. How do you like those? Rotten tomatoes thrown at you. Watkins +2. The one Toby one. Live I repeat. Cheer up, Evan. Experience other cultures, scenery, animals. Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah, yeah. Travel broadens the mind. Exactly right. Live I repeat. Yeah, it's not all about living in a village in Lincoln that's probably got a rather fully booked 4-star hotel. Hardoj had a message retracted, which is great. Another message was held for review. So, and you got Emmanuel Godson thinks that Evan's correct. Overton theory is shifting. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. The Overton window is the set of acceptable beliefs that you can hold in public discussion has definitely moved now to what the loony left would call the right, but it really is more to the populists, patriots, nationalists side. Not nationalist, socialist. Don't get confused out there. Don't start calling people Nazis just because they're patriotic. Brian Case, bum gun is the optimum of cleanliness. Yeah, that's something we don't have in this country that they do have in Southeast Asia, is they got a little hose pipe with a tap on, a squirter tap, and after you've had a dump, you just do it, no toilet paper, just spray your ass out with cold tap water, and yeah, and it just works. But the thing is, it's so warm out there that your bottom evaporates. But imagine putting a wet bottom back into underpants in a British winter. And Brian Case goes west. Don't know what that means, but I think you read my message wrong. Oh, did I? Let's go back to Evan's message that he thinks I read wrong. Every country will be the same soon anyway, so what will be the point of traveling? No, I didn't. I read your question correctly. I understand how you're wrong, why you're wrong, and I had a rant about it. Go back to that point in the recording later and ask someone who you don't consider to be autistic whether I read your question properly and answered it properly. Right, Evening Tim says Wayne Haylett. That was a chap I met at random near Wroxham. He chased after me in a Vauxhall Astra with his wife and kid. But I was going. That Pug Palace had a 2-litre HDI and almost no weight in the back, and I was shifting, man. Amazing you caught up with me. He must have been going some. Yeah, you can live here for £500 a month. I can live in the first world for £200 a month, but I think you've all witnessed the way I live. I don't think everyone's jealous, particularly of my lifestyle here. Now, from your point of view, it might seem dark from the waist down, but that's perfect for me because it's in that window there where all the comments are. So it suits me not to have any light in the bottom third. Gosh, said Watkins plus 2, probably at my idea of public flogging for drunk drivers. Only a little more for some great times. I know what you mean by great times. And when the rubber meets the road, Brian, I did succumb to some great times out in Southeast Asia. Don't try it in Malaysia or Indonesia because they're a bit, peace be upon him. That's what they are. Lived, I repeat, think like that and they've already won. Exactly, you're talking about Evan, aren't you? Yeah. Tampoon, hello Tim. And YouTube has censored your national flags. I don't know what they are, but they're probably either Welsh, Scottish or Northern Irish or English. For some reason, we're not allowed to have national flags. We have to go with the UK PLC flag. Brian Case, it's crap there though, and it's great here. Well, I mean, you're watching my videos, Brian. Am I really having a bad time in the British winter? I got diesel heater clicking away in the back there. I wouldn't say I'm having a shit time. I mean, I did spend 20 years, particularly the last 20 years, going to Asia in the winter, you know, whether it was China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. Anywhere else? Laos. Yes, the People's Democratic Republic of Laos. All you need to know there is sabadi, and that means hello. Kop chai de, thank you. Mopinang. No problem. I'll pretty much get you through your day there. If anyone wants to remember that, if you go to the ultra-communist dictatorship of Laos. Wayne Haylett said, hi. Better than no motor. Exactly. At least, you're under the relatively soft reign of Sir Two-Tier Keir Starlin. I think I'd be a lot tougher on crime, I would, definitely. And the causes of crime. And the idea that you don't need to be punished for crime. Only my opinion, guys, says Brian Case. No, it's perfectly valid, and I lived that dream for a long, long time. A whole midlife crisis full of it. I totally get it, Brian. Let's do some predictions for 2026. I will, Esmeralda, as soon as I've caught up with these questions. Spice Boy, YouTube removed his comment, probably because he's a tard. Yeah, good luck, says Brian Case in Thailand. Spice Boy, PayPal sent enough to cover a warm shower or bidet. Oh, it did. Nice one. Well, thank you, Spice Boy. Get out if you can. Brian, I did a whole midlife crisis. The whole time that Daniel Craig was James Bond. I was his age, and I had the same midlife crisis as that James Bond did. That was the only one I really latched onto, apart from Connery, as a role model, is I lived my midlife crisis, age 38 to 50. I did it, mate. I did it. All right. I know every province in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Japan. Yeah, didn't want to spend too long in China. Oh my God, China. They got this corruption culture there where they never do anything properly. Like, you'll have one firm will build a motorway from one side, say from the east, and the other firm build a motorway from the west, and then they won't meet like that, and they can see each other from a mile off. They're not going to meet, but they're following this laser that some superior set up, and they don't want to get their superior out of bed, who's probably busy in the Audi showroom getting a Q7 or something, and the motos will meet up like that. And then you get your bus from your airport to your hotel, and it would all be gridlocked at this one point that was like that. Or, oh God, madness. And a lot of these bridges are falling down, and they're not paying their staff, and factories are burning. I reckon if you want to find out what's going on in Thailand, look at China Fact Chasers. Now, this is Serpent Za and Laui 86, who are two friends who now form that channel, who used to live together and go motorcycling around China. Yeah, if you want to find out what's going on out there, it's not quite the advanced country that their propaganda makes you think. William Staff, my Plaid Cymru MP has said he's going to write to you at your address, care of the Champagne Galaxy, to request a steward's inquiry. Hey, mate, You lost on a tiebreaker. Get over yourself. That's my opinion about one man walking on Stedford, Das Williams. Mild winter so far. Oh, lived, I repeat, you don't live in a van, do you? We had a proper freeze about 3 weeks ago. All right, William Staff. Keep your driver's window open a little so the postie can pop the summons through. Hey, I'm not a loony lefty. I don't scare with threats like that. It's all bull, Daff. Come on. Come on, you're dealing with a populist here. You're dealing with someone who wants a government that will enact the things that I believe in. Represent me, basically. What you used to call democracy was where you elect people who believe and think like you and espouse policies that absolutely echo your opinions and mindset. That's populism, all right? So you don't scare me with this crap. Tam Spoon. It's Tam from Glenetiv. Indeed, Tam. Tam, you were a star of my Scotland trip. I don't think I discovered half the places without you. I mean, Loch Lomond and Glenetiv, what beautiful places. For anyone who doesn't know Glenetiv or hasn't seen that episode, it's where James Bond drove M2 to his family house called Skyfall. William Staff thinks that's all very funny. I'm getting to the end of the comments. It's pretty good. 60 people here, 28 like it. I can't like myself. Oh, I got a super chat for £3. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Rivnut, Brian Sugar. I hope you're doing okay, Tim. Falang Wam So, Sabai. Falang. Kimao. Falang Kimao. Chungkiao. What do they call you out there, Brian? When I was in Thailand, they used to call me Tap Tim, which either means raspberry flan or ruby ring, because it's a similar sort of thing, yeah, Tap Tim. Because Tim isn't one of their words, but Tap Tim is. Yeah, the Vietnamese know Tim, but the Vietnamese used to call me Jimbo, which means big dick, and I won't tell you why they came up with that particular nickname for me. Right. Wayne Haylett 6622. Good memory. That Astra had an Isuzu engine. Now dim stuck with 2014 308 Pug with vibration noise since May. Ooh. Check your wheel balance. That's the first thing. Or just replace all 4 tyres from a scrapyard and then get them balanced. That's the cheapest way of solving that problem out. I remember when I had the same mechanically as a Peugeot 308, the Peugeot partner, I walked into a scrapyard and they had the GT Sport all-season tyres on better rims than were on mine, already balanced, bing, off a crashed car, drilled them on, and a battery, £100. I filmed that episode. SB Moonbeam. I think the proletariat should rise up and seize the means of production. Yeah, that's kind of a communist ideology that never actually happens in practice, isn't it? William Staff, Esmeralda O'Reilly has a good sense of humour. Tim, you should learn from her. I'm not been given advice about how I should deal with my viewers, Staff, but thank you for the presumptuous nature of your presumption. A camper van is a must for you. No, Christopher Russell. I don't think you understand quite what I'm in. You might call it a Ford Galaxy. You might call it an estate. You might call it an MPV. The Americans call it a minivan. And that's exactly what it is. It's a 7-seater minibus, effectively, with all the back seats taken out. And that gives me a 2-meter space for my bed. I mean, my goodness. Look at that. You call that not a camper van? Yeah. It's just about nomenclature. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it. This is okay, what I've got here. It doesn't matter what you call it or what you call something else that I should have. This is a camper van. You might want to call it something else. It doesn't matter what you call it. I'm camping in the back of my minivan, and you can call it what you like and say I should have something else. Doesn't matter. I'm living my life. I'm happy. Paul Williams. Evening, Tim. Evening, Paul. Oh, I got 58 people in here, which half of you like the show. Brian Case. Cheap Charlie, you cheeky monkey, Cheap Charlie. Yeah, I remember what they used to say when you wouldn't tip them. You're stingy. I used to remember the Thai for stingy. Kinyao. 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 Falan Kinyao. You stingy N-word. William Staff. I'm looking for preferential treatment at the next Masterway. No, sorry, you might get preferential treatment from Plaid Cymru because you happen to be bilingual in Wales, but no, you don't get anything from me, mate. No. Ha ha ha. No. If you got a steward's inquiry, you have to mention it at the time. You can't just say when you think you're going to lose, which you weren't going to lose in the end, because it so happens that you got to the tiebreaker by knowing what the Welsh word is for thank you. And the fact that you guessed the price of the crossbow wrong is up to you. So no, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not having someone saying 53 minutes into a live stream that I got to bloody go back and review hundreds and hundreds of comments to see who said what first. No, I did that at the time. I did it well. End of. Job done. Dismissed. Rivnut. Brian Case. My name is Carl. And the tear, the fear, can't say it. Ha. Well, why not allow yourself a Thai nickname like I did that's more memorable to them? Like, they haven't got a word for Tim, but they've got a word for Tap Tim. The ruby ring, or engagement ring as it happens. Yeah. Sweet ride, buddy. It is nice. Yeah, I'm happy where I am, Brian. Yeah. Crowman 1969. Evening, Tim. All ready for Christmas? Mate, no, it's just another day. No. I don't do cards. I don't do presents. I don't do family. I'm not into any of that bollocks. I'm not into trees. I'm not into Yule logs. I'm not into Christmas crackers. I'm not into mince pies with brandy sauce. Might have a drop of Bailey's though. Might have it now, actually. Yes, that's the answer to that, Cowman. Now, where else can I put my phone that's a good place? On the drinks holder. Yes, nailed it. Might be far away to... Oh, it's far enough away to read it without glasses. Brilliant. I won. He, tough luck, says Colin Birmingham. Yeah, you're quite right. Duff. Colin Birmingham won. Tough luck. Ha 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 ha. And what's more, Colin puts on his shades. If I can find my shades. No, it's another emergency set of Poundland reading glasses. I was taking the piss, says... Alright. Without context, Crowman says I'm taking the piss, and now I've got to delay my Bailey's quaffing for going back and seeing what Crowman said. Evening, Tim, all ready for Christmas. Oh, I was taking the piss. Right. Brian Case Sugary Goodness. Ties can't say my name, and my second name was Charles, so I like it. You got to get into the lingo, mate. Get into their lingo and find a nickname that's close enough. Benjamin Dunkley had a message retracted by YouTube. Probably not very pleasant. I've got no control over messages that get retracted in live streams. Yeah, well done YouTube for dealing with that. And we're an hour and 21 into this. 55 people here, of which more than half are liking it. Right, I shall put my phone down on my drinks holder and quaff a swig of Bailey's until a comment should appear. And if no comment appears in the next minute, I'm going to end the live stream now. Just me, alone, in a car park, next to a cordoned off building site, drinking alone. Right. Oh my God. Let me have another swig before I get to your comments. And first, I do apologise for emotionally manipulating you into spouting out comments, but you're here. Watkins +2. I've got a full set of thermal window covers for a Fiat Doblo. He's trying to flog that. Probably because it's too expensive to insure after you drink driving 10 points. Mystic Hair. Get it down here. Yeah, it's a nice swig. I did have a little, maybe I got it in my map pocket here, a little collapsible. Let's have a rummage in my map pocket. I don't know how I can. Oh, thank you, Esmeralda. Yes, I will come up with my 2026 predictions. Thanks for reminding me. And Hillbilly John, who's in Ireland, Republic, is good evening. How do I switch the view? Can I switch the view in a live stream on an Android, or is that an iPhone thing? Oh. All right, so let's rummage around in my map pocket. See what I can find in my driver's map pocket. I've got my diesel aftershave. Got my book and pen that I had my quiz questions in. Got my emergency wine bottle opener. Deodorant. The secondary aftershave, which is police, and my monocular telescope, 8 times magnification, McDonald's barbecue sauce, cigarette lighter that I used to burn a grommet that you'll see in a recent video, tweezers here that are useful for plugging fuses, pulling fuses. I think I've got a pen down. I've got a pebble down here, which I found at Borth, which is when I find a perfect skimming puddle, I'll have a little skim. and then I can pick it up off the other side of the puddle. And I think there's a pen down there. Capital One pen. Oh, I've got an army. What the hell's that? Some screw. I've got a army can opener. It's very lightweight. I tried to have it on my keyring, but it kept falling off. And and hello, I've got my Zusammenklappbar shot glass. You wouldn't believe this is a shot glass. Let me get the light out properly before I open it, so you can see its full majesty, and then I'll get back into your comments. Flip. Yes, we're back. Okay, the collapsible telescopic. Sorry, it's got a lid on it. But once I've taken the lid off, watch this. Yeah, how impressed are you right now? I'll phone up here. Oh, it's all gunked up. I didn't clean it after my last little Bailey's quaff. Oh, it's disgusting. Right, I'll have to wash that up before I'll have a swig out of it again. Oh, I just accidentally discovered my special effects menu. How about binocular diplopia? I have to click. Oh, yeah. No. I know I'm out of the menu now. What's that do? I'm back in the silly menu now. Can I put myself in a blue leotard? No, that's just blue tint. Thermal. That's silly. Just a negative with green. Redacted. Not very redacted. I'm losing viewers with this madness here. Losing viewers with these things that Koreans obviously think are very funny to have during live streams. Dance party. That's just too intense. Makeup. Losing viewers like dandruff here. Lenses. All. Right, let's press the null on that. Oh, I pressed null. Oh no. Oh, null. Great, I'm back. Okay, let's catch up with the comments. Yeah, Esmeralda reminds me to do 26 predictions. Can't get blood from a stone, says Brian Case. That I take it that's about you bothering to learn Thai as you love to be out there. Mate, I remember the first time on the plane before I went out there, I learned 200 words of Thai. And that really got me right into the culture. They love you for it. Or if you can speak a little bit of their language, they'll love you for it. I can't believe you haven't bothered to learn. William, speaking of other languages, the one man walking Eisteddfod, Daff Williams, says, you know that Welsh longbowmen used to raise the fingers to the French to prove they hadn't had the... Yes, I do know that. That was at Agincourt, yeah. So he raises his two unchopped fingers to Tim and Colin. Tim, because I'm the adjudicator who believes cheated him out of a win, and Colin, who actually, without whinging, won fair and square, even in spite of the penultimate question, which brought Daft to the tiebreaker, which was a Welsh language question. Huh, my God, you just got to learn to be magnanimous, Daff. I don't know what the Welsh for magnanimous is, but it means when you lose, you have to be happy for the winner. Or is it the other way around? When you win, you can't gloat either. Although Colin did gloat, but that was entirely justified after your poor loser behaviour. It's still going on. You have to get over it. It's a bit like Kamala Harris. You just have to, you don't have to resort to being a wine mum. You can just get over the fact that the most capable person who's ever entered public office totally defeated you with a set of beliefs and visions that you might disagree with. Shed Life just hopped on, worried about the super flu. I'm not worried about anything. I live in fear of no man. Super flu. It's going to be another hoax, isn't it? My God, they've only got one playbook and there aren't that many pages in it. So once you've read the pamphlet, you pretty much know what they're going to try next. If you got injected at the last one, you might fall for the next one, Shed Life. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Ian Baker. How's the healthy eating going? Pretty good, as you'll see in upcoming episodes. Yeah, I'm feeling really good in myself, and I'm doing a lot more walking. What I am, I think I published an episode recently where I was trying to hunt down a viaduct just south of Wrexham, and I found it in the distance, and I walked to it and had a good look round it, and yeah, that was a proper long walk, that was. And then I had another long walk the day after in Newtown, which is the video I'm editing at the moment. I haven't published yet, and I had a good long walk. So on the dry days in winter, which sometimes, when you get storms coming over, what they've been called them, Abel and Bale or something, whatever the A and B is. But whenever there's a dry spell, I make sure I get a good bit of walking in with my YouTubing. 48 people here, 38 liking it. Although the 38 liking it might not be the 47 people here. Lost someone just by saying that. You never know, do you? Anything goes, says Brian K. Well, anything goes. You feel free in Thailand, and anything goes until you do something wrong. Like you don't pay a lady who entertained you for an hour or an evening. Yes. One-way road here. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying Thailand, mate. I'm glad you're having a second wind and you're enjoying Thailand. It really is great. I know how that feels because I've done it along with other Asian countries. Really loved it out there. It's a different world, isn't it? It's a different civilization indeed, with their different beliefs and religion and words. But once you get into a little bit of the language, that's the key to the culture and their hearts. So open it up, Brian. Have a sober week. Get into a phrase book. All right. I'm pure blood. I dodged the bullet. Well done, Shed Life. Well done. So you probably think this flu that we're supposed to panic about is a load of bollocks as well. I saw many people wearing face nappies today. Oh no! Oh, are you in Ireland, Esmeralda? Oh no, I'm so sorry. That's so sad. But they're driving alone by themselves. Because we saw that, didn't we, during the 2020 hoax? They were by themselves in cars wearing face nappies. Lived, I repeat, used to run up hills and do daft stuff in old vids. Used to make me laugh. I do whatever I want, whenever I want to, lived, I repeat. So, I'm sorry if I'm not repeating things that you used to enjoy, but if you don't enjoy the new stuff and you don't watch the new stuff, what can I say? You don't even know where I am. Williams Daff, the whinging Welsh Tim, is not a stereotype. Mawrethog is magnanimous in the indigenous language of the British Isles. Correct. Yes, Before the Roman invasion, Welsh was the spoken language of the Celtic tribes of Lloegr, which means the lost lands. What the English call England is the Welsh call the lost lands, Lloegr. Quite right. And indeed, they used to be based on copper and flint and weaving and pottery and so on. There used to be a whole industry from about 5,000 to 2,000 years ago, what we now know as the Bronze Age and Iron Age. There used to be an entire Celtic civilization going on in all of Northern Europe. Yeah, but you can't turn back the clock. That's like saying, you know, that the Balfour Declaration tried to turn back the clock towards, you know, 2,500 years ago when King David and King Solomon were ruling over the displaced peoples of Canaan. You know, it always leads to trouble when you turn back the clock and saying things should be like, or reparations. Just forget it, you know, forget it, man, forget it. You know, just enjoy the benefits of being in one of the most advanced civilizations that the earth has ever produced, if not the best one. And just enjoy it. Even when we're at our worst point, you still are not thinking of emigrating to Albania or Pakistan or Turkmenistan, are you, Duff? You're still going to stick with Wales, even over England. Ian Minchington, happy ending. I don't know what that means. Is that related to a memory of Thailand? I don't know. Shed Life, they started revving up C19 this time of year. Well, exactly, because the whole C19 thing, or Divock, or 91 Divock, if you want to reverse the letters. Ah, bollocks. Let me put it back on the cup holder. Is, you notice that in 2020 there was no flu. Because they relabeled it and just said it was worse than it was, and people who fell off motorbikes or, you know, mountain climbing accidents or shotgun wounds, they were all, oh no, they died of COVID. Oh no, how terrible. Old age, midazolam, suffocation. Yeah, I caught COVID. Oh no. My pen rai. Yeah, that's a good word in Thailand. My pen rai. No problem. Also all good. Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much dissolves most situations. 4x4 fella, good evening. Ben, 4x4 fella is the artist formerly known as Benjamin, who appeared in last night's quiz as a question, which subscriber travelled with me to Lee's bug out in near Bailth Wells for a survival and a prepping course, which lasted about 3 or 4 days. It was brilliant marksmanship, dealing with bandaging gunshot wounds. Wow, it was a brilliant course, wasn't it? And my favourite moment was when we were around the campfire with a load of survivors, preppers, ex-army, ex-NATO, or some of them even current serving soldiers, and some of which might have been, you know, in different regiments who didn't want to tell us what they were. And one snitch, one Fed, tried to infiltrate. Remember that? Yeah, we're like having a nice chat. Once we got to know each other on the last day, all around a campfire, and one said, "Well, this is all very well." He just out of context said, "Oh, well, this is all very well, but you know, there's no action here. What are we going to do about it?" You know, like, no, mate, you're wearing a wire, and we're not discussing in front of you what we intend to do about it. All right. Yeah, but it was a great free speech chat around that campfire where me and Ben cooked steak and just ate it with Rambo knives. Toxic masculinity to the max. Yeah, good memories of that, and I hope to, now I've got a reliable vehicle. Touch wood. Ow. I hope to be along to the next one. Lee Hannibal, how you doing, mate? From Malden in Essex. I'm so sorry I never got to meet you because I went through the Dartford Tunnel to meet someone else who was a no-show, and then I just thought, oh, sod it, you know, my mate Simon's got a couple of weeks off in Suffolk, I'm just going to drive up through there. And then you saw the message and popped up after I'd already left, so sorry about that, Lee. Brian Case, yeah, thinks that Shed Life had a good point. I think it was the happy ending they were talking about. I wouldn't know about that, although a friend read about it in a book and told me, and I was like, oh God, I can't believe people get up to that kind of stuff. Let's get the headmaster look. How debauched. How disgraceful. Hello from Adelaide, South Australia. G'day, mate, Jono. G'day, Jono. Put another shrimp on the barbie. I know you say prawns. Put another prawn on the barbie, mate. Whereabouts are you, Jono? Oh, Adelaide. Adelaide. Oh, in the Southern Australia, or is it Victoria? I can't remember. I did enjoy VB Bitter. If you are in Victoria. Lived I repeat. How's Niall doing? Yeah, that's a sad story, mate. That's a sad story. That's a sad story. Won't go into it, but I told him to his face. 4x4 fella, it's okay because I've had my 10th booster. I'm now booked for my flu, Divock, shingles, Mpox, all in one day. I will not be a granny killer or a super spreader this time. Yeah, you were properly shamed last time with your anti-vax denial, super spreading, granny killing madness, mate. Yeah, glad you learned your lesson. Yeah, you need to have your genome edited with a very experimental batch of mRNA. Don't know which batch you're going to get. If the nurses are awake, you might get a saline like Richard Hewitt and get away with it. You never know what you're going to get. But if I was to put my conspiracy theory hat on here, I think that the globalists were going for the elixir, the life extension thing, because there's obviously a genetic switch inside of us that every time a cell divides, the telomere shortens, and the telomere is the bit that connects the chromosomes to the anaphase, which is the point where the cells divide and replicate, especially if they're injured. And what cancer is it's when cells don't expire, because most cancers are stopped by the telomeres running out, and indeed most life is stopped. But really, I mean, I get it that people are not religious anymore and they'd rather, you know, continue in this physical form. But I mean, what kind of ego do you need to have that you need to allow you need to have everyone else experiment on random batches of mRNA until someone comes along who mysteriously beats the aging process? Well, look at me. I'm 57. I've only got 2 teeth missing. I've got most of my hair in its own color, and I'm still sharp as a button, and I'm still running around like a 3-year-old, and I still know everything that I've ever learned, and I'm learning more every day. I mean, yeah, maybe it's being descended from parents and grandparents who were centenarians. I think that's the elixir of youth that I happen to have stumbled upon. Totally. Serendipitously. I think that's how you do it. And that really, you ought to be, if you're gonna do a eugenics program, you should be descending it from people of above 120 IQ who have grandparents who live to be over 95, which, hey, you're looking at it here. You're looking at the globalist dream for the future of humanity is actually fighting against them, because the reason they need to import 70 IQ people is they can destroy a country without even knowing what they're doing. Whereas the over 120 IQ people, the one standard deviation away from the norm, can use their minds to pierce deeply into any amount of information and come out with a solid course of action and enact that. Yeah, trust the science. 4x4 fella. Right, that was a good rant. Up in the hill, Tim, I hope you're well and good, happy travels. Well, thank you. That's a nice sentiment, really nice sentiment. And lovely. 4x4 fella, that was a great camp we had there, mate. Yeah, that was great. That was great. That was a proper, when we shot that Bud Light with a crossbow, that was great. Really enjoyed everything about that time, including the fact that my gearbox had broken. I had to bloody rebuild the gearbox linkages with wall ties, 10-inch wall ties, elastic bands, and rubber bands. I said that, and duct tape. If you can't fix it with duct tape, you're not using enough. About Brian Case. Good day, Jono in Adelaide. G'day, Jono. How many miles you put on the Galaxy? Well, I don't know, because the speedo's on the blink. I honestly don't know. Officially, a couple of thousand, but unofficially, I honestly have no idea. Which is pretty good, because my insurance is only for 6,000 miles a year. So, but if you watch recent videos, I am trying to fix my electrical gremlins. Although the thing is, the winter brings more damp, which doesn't really help with dodgy earths and you know, mouse nibbled wires and stuff. Lee Hannibal, hopefully pass through at some point. Where are you, Lee? Oh, I'm not going back to find out. Oh, New Malden in Essex. I remembered something. But yeah, I mean, I've been through Essex twice on my travels now. Once when I followed the Constable Trail. That was great, the Constable Trail. Really enjoyed that. That was mostly South Suffolk and into Essex. Really enjoyed that. Telomeres are the bits at the ends of the chromosomes. Exactly, yes. Yeah. I mean, every time the chromosome replicates, a bit of the telomere is lost. And that's normally what dictates the lifespan of the cell. But there are some cells that don't divide, like your brain cells and your nerves. You're pretty much stuck with them from birth, and as your personality is formed up until the age of, say, 28, that's when you're pretty frozen unless you discover some form of enlightenment. SB Moonbeam, yeah. Mr. Stephen Parry Frompert, son. Hi, how do you miss your old life before lockdown, and how are you today? If you've been watching my videos, you'll know. If you haven't, you won't know. Everyone else knows. Don't worry about it. Love you today. PSS, lovely to see you in the Ford Galaxy. I've always loved that model. Yeah, it's great. It really is great. I mean, it's got its fair share of problems being 20 years old, and But the guy who gave it to me for free, Chris, he's good as gold. He's going through some difficult times at the moment, but next year we'll see if he can do some repairs on it. But he's been good as gold, even better than previous owner Tony was with the Galaxy. He was good as gold. I don't think he knew quite. I mean, nobody could have predicted a big end going like that. That's just one of those things, isn't it? Brian Case is a little pissed here. It's 4:46. It's 4:46 in the morning. Blimey, good night, Brian. Get your head down. And I mean on the pillow, not where you think I'm thinking. Colin Birmingham, do you use castor oil on your face? No, I don't do anything. The only thing I do with my face is yap, grin, and wash it in public toilets every now and then. It keeps you youthful. Do you have an opinion on that? Yeah, I do have an opinion on putting products on your face. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy your natural self as you truly authentically are, whether that's your original face. I'm using Buddhist concepts here, or I could switch to Sanskrit, but I mean just I had a brief glitch there. Just enjoy being who you are at whatever stage in your life you are. Like, there's no point, if you're say 57, trying to look 40 with a comb over. I mean, I do it for fun, but there really is no point. It's only a laugh, you know. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's my opinion about using products in your face. Just don't worry. All you got to do with your face is just show it. Just be yourself. have a giggle. Let the lines grow. You know, just enjoy the souvenirs of all the laughter just fossilized on your face. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Just grow old gracefully. Don't wish you were younger, because you've been younger and you probably weren't enjoying yourself as much as you are now with all the wisdom you've accumulated. So that's what I think about that. Brian Case, you should be in bed now. It's 4:52 in the morning in Thailand. My God, probably sun's up in an hour. Keen rocking in the free world, if you can find it anymore. I'm glad you're having a great time. Oh, Brian, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout for 24 hours as you've spammed the chat. Let's get on. So, Brian, good night. No point in you typing anything anymore. Take it easy. Lag on, crap. Brian. Seems like Tony sold you a lemon. Probably have been sitting for years without an oil change, and that's what it could be. It could be. I'm not worried about it. It's all behind me now. Colin's laughing away in Birmingham. Well, you got to have a sense of humour if you're living in Birmingham. My God, that's pretty much been taken over by the packet instands in the south and the Jamaica in the north. My God. Yeah. Simon Lockyer 7389. Tim, do you watch Boaty's World? I don't watch any television. I have no idea what's going on in the television world, and I haven't for 30 years or more. Don't know at all what the TV world is. I do have a subscription to the Disney Channel, because that's only because I wanted to watch Andor, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, which I've never seen before. Yeah, I don't know what else is there for me to watch, but I'll certainly cancel that subscription before the month is up. Yeah, Brian, you've been cancelled for spamming. Go to sleep. Good night. wake up tomorrow, sober, learn 200 words of Thai. First day, learn 20. Right, first day, learn 20. Second day, learn 20. In 10 days, you'll have 200. And then you're in. If you're out there for 5 months, for God's sake, have a go at learning the lingo. Man, it's like when you go to southeast Spain, you know, you go to the Costa Blanca and Benidorm, and these people are just watching Fawlty Towers and Benny Hill and having steak and chips, and they have no idea that just 6 miles inland there's someone like me having paella on a mountaintop, speaking Spanish to the locals at a third the price that you're paying for your bloody steak and chips. Colin Birmingham, that's your name. Your surname is Birmingham. Yeah. He's from Huddersfield, but his surname's Birmingham. Right. Tim, what's your favourite YouTube channels? You know what? That's a very interesting question. I will get to that, but first I've got to do Esmeralda's predictions for next year. Good question. Endorsed 3. Boom, bada, boom, pew. Hi from Liverpool. Yeah. Hello. Ish. That's my Liverpudlian. Yeah, Colin says that. Says boom, bada, boom, pew from Scousland. Urban Art TV, obviously. I mean, the man that put me on the map and showed me not only how to do van life, but how to do van life videos. Brett. We all hail Brett. He's now turned his passion and focus onto art, and it is good. He's got his own style of kind of, I'm trying to think of the genres he does. He does kitsch, he does naive, he does, oh, what was it called, where you got this neo-feminist granular stuff? I can't remember. Yeah, he's certainly got his own style. It's definitely influenced, but he's developing his own style of, and you can tell he's becoming a good artist because his photorealistic stuff is really up there. It's like, if you look at any of the great artists going back, post-Raphaelite really, they can all do really good real life paintings, but since the invention of photography, there hasn't really been a need for real life paintings. But as long as you can paint that well, as good as a photograph, you can then, I mean, look, even say looking at this, the hand and the shadow on the face now, I mean, there are people that can paint something like that perfectly. Still life, they call it. And once you can do that, you can pretty much branch out into whatever genre you like. And there have been some strange genres. I went to an art gallery in Wrexham, which I published recently. I was looking at one for a while, and I thought, oh, this is a little bit practical. And I realised it was the room plan. It was nothing to do with art. It was actually the layout of the furniture in the room. Richard Hewitt, Easy Van Life. Do you really watch that 4x4 fella, or are you being ironic here? Yeah, I tried. I mean, he's a lovely man, Richard Hewitt, don't get me wrong, but I can't watch his videos, nor can anyone else. Look at Tommy's Autos. Shan't. I like a bit of quiche. Oh, that's awful. Quiche is awful. It's just like solid puke. Frozen puke, and then you just eat it and it tastes like liquid puke, and then the puke comes back out the other way tasting just as bad. Quiche is awful. My God. surely a vegetarian as well, aren't you, if you like quiche, Moonbeam? Patricia, Colin Birmingham says, oh, Patrina should get him to do a painting. Patrina. I don't know, Patrina. Is that Russian? Endorsed. Do you have follow Project Amber? No, I mean, he's pretty much doing, he's expat in Portugal now, so no, I haven't been following that. I'm not really a van life guy, so I got two big questions to ask, which I'll have a rant on in a minute. We're 2 hours in. Yeah, let's move on to the two rants. One of which is, what do I think is going to happen in 2016? Number two, I was just asked very recently. Well, what channels do I watch? Yeah. How I manage with electric on the roads, I don't have to worry. It's all actually done on the starter at the moment because I'm driving every day, so I really don't have to worry about that. Oh, you meant Patricia, right? Endorsed 2026, right. We are now pausing and ignoring your comments. Keep the comments coming. I'll come back to them. But first one, Esmeralda, predictions of 2026. I believe for this country, the Labour Party will replace Keir Starmer. But what have they got? David Lammy, Rachel Reeves. Don't know anyone else in the Labour Party. My God, mad. Yeah, Keir Starmer is actually the most presentable, most competent, most personable, most intelligent person they have. Yeah, so that's my prediction, is they'll try and replace Keir Starmer, and they'll do an even worse job than the Tories did when they went through their binge of replacing leaders until we ended up with a bloody foreign-born technocrat. That was silly. I hope we get rid of it. Oh yeah, so predictions. I do believe that the Overton window has moved so much now that Labour is in freefall panic, and that they will have to make concessions towards, because obviously they live in fear of Nigel Farage. You can see that they've already started to say, oh no, I'm 60 years old and I'm Nigel Farage bullied me at school when he was 13. Really? You sure that's not checkbook journalism? Yeah, so they've already tried that, and that's it. That's their best weapon, and it's not even election season. They just put that out there. But they'll come up with even weaker and stuff, and you can see they tried it against Trump, and all it does is it just makes the electorate angry with the globalist establishment and more eager to get in. A populist who we feel speaks our thoughts. And I don't think, and many of you watching no doubt, don't think that Nigel Farage is the right man compared to, say, Ben Habib, Tommy Robinson or Rupert Lowe. But he's the man that's getting in. He has hit Middle England, and he's taken votes away from Labour. In these recent by-elections, he's walking away with it, and they are running scared. They even cancelled mayoral elections because they are terrified of the Reform Party, a party with only four MPs. They got rid of Rupert Lowe, so probably they had 4 MPs in Parliament. That's the local scene here that I can see going on. I don't think Labour will get the digital ID in because it has to go through select committees, well, Parliament, select committees, and the House of Lords, and then sent back if there are loopholes in the law. And there are going to be a critical mass of people like me that will just not interact with it on any level whatsoever. Whatever happens to us, we are not getting involved with that crap. and that's the end of it. It won't happen. And it's obvious they're not doing it so they can keep track of the illegal migrants who they've brought in, who they know have destroyed their passport. What they could do is easily genetically test all of these illegals in the country, see roughly where they're from if they don't tell us, or they won't let us use linguistics to figure it out, and just drop them out of a Hercules in a container with a parachute, you know? Just drop 100 of them at a go until eventually they get to stop the benefits. I don't think this is going to happen under Labour much, but it could happen with deporting the worst criminals like the child rapist. I think that might be the concession that Labour makes. To think, hey, we solved it. We've made everyone happy now. Vote for us. We're brilliant. They might send the child essays home. That's a good prediction. Right, so we've done Britain. I think the 20 mile an hours will disappear from Wales. They're ridiculous, except for flashing on the traffic light sign when the schools are opening and closing. I think that's a very sensible measure, because at 20 miles an hour, 90% of children survive. 30 miles an hour, half of children survive. At 40 miles an hour, 10% of children survive. So I think it's a very sensible measure for that. I think also the universities are starting to feel the polarization switch now, that they used to be very loony lefty run and ideologically, gender bender, gender communist. But I think that's going to switch as university prospectuses are more likely to attract students if they go for a more rational thinking, free speech culture to their campuses. I think that's going to, especially the parents who are probably my age, will be thinking, hang on a minute. If Cambridge and Oxford and Imperial College and Durham and Exeter are all doing these Looney Tunes madness thing. No, do you know what? I'm just going to send them to what used to be called technical colleges that are now universities. Send them to them. Get a degree. Don't get bamboozled by the mind games, and just get yourself a job. Or there'll be a lot of people who, and I did this as well, is I joined Andrew Tate's university at university.com. It wasn't for me, because I enjoy what I'm doing now, and I don't need a budget necessarily, but I think it's a great thing for young men to feel that they have a role to play in polite society, that they are providers, that they are protectors, that they are, physically fit, that they are mentally sharp, and that they're ready to, get on with the thing they find most interesting, that brings in a wedge. And I think that has been taken away from a lot of young men recently. I mean, it doesn't affect me because I'm an old man. Might not look it. I'm an old man and I'm happy on £200 a month in my camper van, eating tin beans out of a cold can in there. But I think when you're younger, you need to find your place in the world. You need status and, ego-driven status. You need to know how to fight, to defend yourself, to be competent in many spheres, not just scholarly, but practical, vocational as well. And I think there'll be more of that going on, of possibly young men avoiding university altogether, to actually get into some real work. And I do foresee the EU 2026, the EU slowly collapsing. I know Donald Trump has made it his mission to disband the EU, and he wants Poland, Hungary, uh, the Czech Republic, and I don't know which other one, whether it's Romania or Slovakia or Estonia. I don't know which other one. He wants to drag them out of the EU civilizational sphere into the free world of the West civilizational sphere. And I think instead of the G7, we're going to see the C5, the five civilizational states of the world, which the hubs of which will be India, China, Japan, the United States. What have I missed out? And Africa, perhaps. No, Africa's not a civilization. That's still trapped in the Stone Age, mostly, isn't it? Russia. There you go. The Orthodox Church, the family-orientated free speech. Yeah, Russia isn't what you've been told to believe on television. Yeah, so there'll be those five spheres of civilizational spheres that will be the centers of the civilization. So effectively, Western Europe and Eastern Europe, including the UK, will be part of the Western hemisphere, as we always used to be. We are the free-thinking, inventive, creative democracies that basically come up with everything that the rest of the world needs to drag their sorry asses out of the Bronze Age, Stone Age, and Iron Age. Yeah. All right. So the next question was, that's 2026 from my research. The next thing I need to answer is, I'm going to go back a bit now. What do I need to answer? What channels do I watch? First, I'm going to catch up on the comments. Let's do that before I answer what channels do I watch. Got 43 people in here. I've scared off a good 20 people with that rant. Good. Don't want you anyway. Unsubscribe. Bye. Or have I gone a bit late now? Oh no, it's only just on 10 o'clock. So let's get back up to there's a live show. Colin thinks Patricia should do a bit of painting. No. Do you have good enough internet to download films, shows, and such? I live stream. You don't download films anymore. You live stream them from YouTube. You can look for full movie on YouTube, and there's some interesting stuff there, often B-movie style. And then there is YouTube Movies and Films, a channel where you can pay about $3.49 to rent a movie for 24 hours. That's good. And I got the Disney Channel for a month, so I'm catching up on some of that culture that I've missed out of. Obviously, I'm not going into the woke crap. I'm not going to watch Rachel Zegler's Snow White. Itchy Boots, great channel. Yeah. I don't watch a lot of van life really. I'm just doing my thing, and I don't watch a lot of van life. Most of it's pretty crap. I might have a look at Itchy Boots. Thank you. I'll have a look at that. Thank you, Byron. SB Moonbeam. Never seen a party get voted in and drop off so fast in the polls so quickly. Yeah, Labour. Oh, they were handed rule on a plate, and they've gone down to like 16% approval. Which, if you think about it, if only 40% of the population turned up to vote and then 40% voted Labour, that is a 16% approval. So perhaps it's unchanged. Perhaps the people that voted Labour will still vote Labour. That's if you know how fractions work and you can figure that out. Basically, 0.4 times 0.4 is 0.16. There you go. Green Reform Coalition. No, I'm afraid Green isn't an eco-mentalist party. No, it's communism in a green leotard, mate. No, forget them. Mad. 4x4 fella, Me Too Digital is a step in a dystopian future that I won't partake in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. Yeah. I think if a critical mass forms, there only has to be, 15 million people, quarter of the country, quarter of the white people in the country, the British people in the country. Yeah, if that they can really, we can really disrupt it if we don't get involved with the digital ID. Should they decide to impose this on us? Yeah. Dan Lowe, let's get real. The country is effed. Love your journey, Tim. No, I don't agree with that. I think because are you I've been through this before, Dan. Are you migrating to Romania? Are you migrating to Bangladesh? Are you migrating to Turkmenistan? Are you migrating to Outer Mongolia? Are you even migrating to an actually good country like Russia or the United States or India? New Zealand even? No. So don't give me that. So let's get real, Dan. You're not going anywhere. Teresa Kerno has entered the chat. Remember I met her on the Isle of Wight trip, and she was the only bird who's been in the back of that van. But it was all done in the best possible taste. Yeah, she's now in Kent. Yeah. Welcome to the chat, Teresa. I bet you've had a good shift down the old people's home, haven't you? Still here, Sir Tim, says Andrew Taylor. Did you keep the bit of crypto you had? No, I didn't. No. I made a few hundred on crypto about 3 to 2 years ago. Then I sold it. I think I made a bit on the shitcoins actually, which was Dog with Hat. I made quite a bit on that. Made quite a bit on Pepe and Shibu Inu. The rest were losses. So, but my gains were above the losses. Although it was a hard time because we had a crypto winter from about 2020 to mid 2023. But that was when things started waking up again. That was when I started throwing money at the shitcoins and did well. That was actually through Tate's University. What was it called? The Real World. I joined the Real World. Got some advice from a professor, Hungarian professor. I forget his name now. Who was my lecturer for that particular course, and it paid for quite a lot back then. Ian Minchington, do you realise that I am from Cambodia? No, I did not realise. Ian, that's you. Ian, you're Susie's partner. Ian, it's so good to have you in the chat. I don't think I've ever seen you commenting before. Yeah, we had such a laugh. Do you remember that rope raft back from this island pub where we were drinking rum and shit and having a bit of a smoke? And then I jumped. This raft was about 10 feet out, and I did a running jump onto the raft. And the next thing, Ian, who was even more wasted than me, probably hadn't drunk more, but he was just smaller than me, just another running jump and landed clean on the raft and did a bit of a whoa as the raft was tilting under his weight. And Yeah, we got on this raft, and it was a kind of a rope raft. So there were two pulleys at each end, and we had to find the rope and then bring it back, because Susie at that point was down to her was that oh bollocks. These bloody drinks holders don't hold phones very well, do they? There you go. Yeah, Susie was like on the bank, and she had her legs outstretched on the raft, and her elbows going down like that, and her ass was just about to touch the water. And instead of coping, when I grabbed hold of the rope and pulling the raft back, I was laughing my head off watching Susie, drunk as a rat, going, holding all her weight up on her elbows like this over the drink. But we got the raft back between us and got Susie on, and my missus at the time, the local lady, we got her on, and we were all laughing our heads off. And then my local lady, she Pow, that's right. She got us across the river on the raft, because we were halfway across before we stopped laughing and realized that she was actually operating the bloody river raft, and it was pitch black, wasn't it? There was no moon, no stars under the clouds. It was pitch black. This was then we got to the other side, and we had my moped, and it was like the cheapest 100cc 30-year-old Korean replica of a Honda Cup, and it's called a Dalim City 100, and all four of us got on there. And you can normally fit sort of 5 Asians on one of those things, and their furniture and pets and that, but 3 big Europeans and one Khmer on there. That was funny. I remember you were right on the back, and you kept falling off. We didn't even know. All we heard was laughing, disappearing off and behind us. Then we had to stop and listen to you getting prickled by all the vegetation. And it wasn't a very wide path, and it was kind of a winding path that got us back to the resort at Otres Beach, Otres 2, which had no electricity at the time. And we got back, and the first pub we passed, the Jamaican pub, you and Susie got jumped off and carried drinking. Oh, me and the missus, we just somehow nursed the moped back to our straw shack on the beach, and and we were laughing all night. We didn't get any sleep because we were just laughing about how funny that was. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Ian. That's a great memory you brought back there. Good to have met you. What was that? 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I was in South Cambodia doing that. Ooh, I had a load of comments. Teresa, broken down, have RAC taken us home? Oh no, you've only just bought a new van as well. And that was following on from your broken down van that you finally gave up on. And both of you were working odd hours. You doing shifts down an old people's home. Your husband doing early morning postal work. And you still couldn't repair that van that you were living in. And you bought another one and now it's broken down. Oh no, you're living through the same nightmare I had the past 2 years of being stuck in a broken down van, just getting it towed. Oh no, and you're in Kent, you're not even near the Isle of Wight. Oh, how much is... They probably won't tow you to the Isle of Wight, will they? Dan, what's your long-term plan, Tim? XRP to the moon. Yeah, good luck with that. Were you one of these people that bought it at 64 pence and it went down to 32 and you're like hoping to just get your money back? Endorsed. Good luck with that. Yeah, I've heard that crap before. Endorsed. Good luck. Good luck to you. If you want to gamble on crypto, I'm out of there now. I made a few hundred. I had some adventures. Where did I go on my crypto adventure? Oh yeah, I bought a shitty van that broke down after 109 miles. Yeah. Lecturer Goulash, fantastic Hungarian. I can't remember his name now. Who remembers any Hungarian names anyway? Check your hair, side parting suits you, sir. I don't know about that, Colin Birmingham in Lancashire. All right, let me see if I can do something about my comb over live. So what I normally do is I comb it all back, get all the cobs out. You see the true, actual horror of my hairline. Or, well, what used to be a hairline. It's not there, is it? And these two receding areas are almost meeting at the back, where they'll no doubt form a nice little landing pad. Yeah, so that's the true extent of it. Then I comb it all forwards. And what I do is I rub the left up, rub the right up, and then shake the left about, leaving it on a downstroke. Shake the right about, leaving it on a downstroke. And then just take it off the forehead. Yeah. There you go, the live comb over. And it's a useful tip for anyone who's got widow's peak balding pattern. Linda Ripley, today I mostly be eating rice pudding. Hello, Tim. Oh, yeah, I've had a few of those days. I think December's going to be pretty grim for me. Also, I got a budget for a cheesy gypsum curry from one viewer, which is nice. Simon Pieman, if someone was thinking about starting van life, do you think the standard allowance 400 a month would be enough to live? That's twice what I'm on. You could have two people doing what I'm doing and having a laugh if they got the right strength of characters to do it. Yeah, Teresa Kerno, bad luck. Believe me, I know what it's like to have two broken down vans in a row. That really sucks. Ian says, "Oh, that was the best night ever." Yeah, when we were on that raft, and then the moped after the drinking session on that island. That was hilarious. Yeah, I remember when you got to the other side, you were tangled in all the ropes because the rope that was part of the ferry, which is basically a pallet stuffed with polystyrene, enough room for 4 people to stand who weren't too fat. And then there was just like a wheel on the other side. There were ropes tying some stuff up to a tree, and you got so tangled in these ropes, and you were leaning back but still tangled in the ropes. I thought you were going to fall back in the river, and I tried to grab you, and you went, "Don't touch me!" Oh, that was a funny night. You were so funny. Yeah, that was a damn good night. That was. I still laugh when I think about it, Ian. Yeah. RAC back tomorrow. Oh, those poor suffering bastards. Tell me more about your van, Teresa. What van did you get? Your new replacement for your broken down van that you never managed to fix. Colin said, "Gotcha. Don't know what you got me for." Would you consider living in Southeast Asia again? Says Andrew Taylor. Once your state pension kicks in. I don't know really. I don't know. I mean, I know the lingos, I know the culture, I know every county there and quite a lot of the villages and all the counties. I could have a good time in Asia. I already have had a good time, in Asia, not just Southeast Asia, but, the Northeast as well. The civilized countries, Northeast, didn't like China at all. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much of a state pension I'll be because I haven't been paying any stamps since I've been doing this malarkey, so I'll probably have a very reduced pension anyway, so I might as well just carry on with the YouTube malarkey and Um, I don't know how far afield I can drive this van to. I think most insurance only covers you 3 months abroad in a certain sphere of countries, but I could always have little breaks here and there, but I don't really know if it'll suit the channel. But the thing is, I like doing what I'm doing now. You know, I like driving around in an old nail camper van and meeting people and exploring places I've never seen before, or even documented places that I've seen before, but just driven through without a second thought. Yeah, so that's a damn good question. Yeah, don't know. I mean, the thing is, the plan is, I mean, I know someone asked me earlier about the plan and I poo-pooed them. The plan is to remain um, spiritually pure, mentally sharp, and physically fit enough to continue being who I am. And I don't particularly want to age unnecessarily in any of those departments. Although sometimes you might not be able to control it, you know, it's just a natural thing. Just embrace it when it happens, be who you are and all that. Like, you know, I can't run the 100 meters in 12 seconds anymore. It's just one of those things, you know, I can't do parallel bars anymore. I can't do somersaults off a oh, I don't even know. I haven't even tried doing parallel bars or somersaults. I mean, who knows what the human potential is? Yeah. Charlie Ty 355. Hey, Cheap Charlie, back from the Badlands. Love you, Tim. Proper apology for the spam. Oh, it's you. No, Brian, no. You go to bed now. Colin Birmingham, his real surname. I got you on their hair comb over advice and demonstration. Yes, it's good. And even if all you got is 2 patches of hair on the side above your ears, which is the most common end game for male balding, you can still comb it over. You can still do it if you know what you're doing. Yeah. But when you're doing ear hair and nostril hair and eyebrow come overs, that's when you know it's time to give up and just face it, you're bald. Teresa, we've got a Ford Transit rack will get us to the Isle of Wight. The van starts but has no power going uphill. That might be a turbo thing. I've been having problems with my turbo. Yeah, I mean, there are still hills on the Isle of Wight, so you know you don't want to be stuck in freshwater and not be able to get up to that field you're renting, do you? I mean, you should be plain sailing if you got there are no hills really between Kent and Southampton. If you stay along the south coast, if you just go Hastings way, you should be all right. I mean, that's the road I travelled. There were no hills there unless I chose to go up, you know, into the South Downs. You've got to avoid them. And that's it. 2.5 hours in, the chat has dried up. My chat has dried up. And also my mouth has dried up. So I'm going to have a proper swig of this bottle now. Yeah. As I'm in a camper van, not outside getting caught. I got my mirrors there, see if the filth turn up. Right, that's it. Bye. Thank you. The 35 remaining. Bye. No. Not doing goodbyes, retro experience. Bye. Not doing goodbyes, Andrew Taylor. We're off. Now, Colin Birmingham and Teresa Kerno. Bye. No. Bye. We're off. Bye. That's me doing bye. No byes from you. Bye from me. Bye.